Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. What I'd like to share with you today is my rather untidy looking 486 160 megahertz AT computer. Pull a few cards out that I fitted, have a little look what's going on, and talk about what these cards are. So this is a standard, very old-fashioned AT PC case from about, I don't know, 1995, 96, something like that. The motherboard we're using is an ATC 1415. We have in there, if you can see it, an AMD 133 486 processor, which is overclocked to 160 megahertz. We have in there 16 megabyte of RAM. We have a battery backup clock using an external battery pack. And it's a pretty standard affair. It's a UMC chipset, which is, I think it's a UM8881F, also it says. Yeah, there's not a lot to say about it. It's a very strange motherboard in so much as it doesn't have a floppy disk drive controller, nor does it have COM ports, which I found very unusual. So we're going to talk about some of the cards that's in this machine. It's a mess. I will tidy it up later. I just want to get it all working first. Right, so what's in this card? What's in this card? What's in this PC? So we have a sound card here. Hopefully you can see it okay. This is, even though there's very little information on here, it's a Yamaha card. What does it say? There are some, there we go. It's an A151-A00. There is conflicting reports about what this is, but it is, to the best of my knowledge, a Yamaha made card, although there were many clones. Sound Blaster Pro compatible, 16-bit. It does suffer from extremely loud audio for some reason, but it seems to work okay, so I'm going to go with it. I think the audio out's a little bit flaky. One channel is a bit louder than the other, but I might have a play with the sound mixer and see if I can alter that. But that's the sound card I'm using. Now I did have a Creative Labs Sound Blaster Pro card in here, 16-bit, Vibra 16C I think it was, but the machine won't boot with it in, so Lord only knows why. Next we have a LAN card, an 8-bit LAN card, strangely enough. The reason I'm using an 8-bit LAN card is because I wanted to run this in a Commodore 8088 PC. So I bought this cheap on eBay. It was a tenner or something. Never used it. I haven't set it up yet. It's a, I don't know what it is, to be honest. What is it? It's an Intel chipset. 1980, 1982. What is it? Oh, it's a Carol something. Sold aside this side. IR9768. Revision L. So it's a Carol somebody. Who knows? Right, next up we have my Gold Star. I'll not lift it up because I'll have to reconnect the connectors and I'll get them the wrong way around. Well, hopefully not. This is a simple I/O card, 16-bit I/O card. Many 386, 286 and early 486 machines had this sort of thing. You usually have the IDE off that, floppy off there, two COM ports, what's that, game port and parallel. You alter the jumpers. That's got IDE turned off. Everything else is on, so the COM ports are on, the game port's on, parallel, and floppy, of course, is all powered up. But one of the clever things about this card is it does allow you to have onboard COM ports, and then you can have two extra COM ports by changing the IRQs. So that's quite a clever feature of that card. I'll just pop that there. Right, one of the things I did have which caused me a great deal of grief was not using that. What I did use originally was the onboard IDE ports. I spent probably 2 days on and off, connecting, reconnecting CF cards to the IDE. It would detect the CF card. Sometimes it would even detect there's Microsoft DOS on there, but it wouldn't boot. After a few reboots and messing about, I could boot it from a floppy. It would give me access to the CF occasionally, but it wouldn't boot from them. So I thought, it must be some sort of, obviously, a boot error. Some CF cards boot, some don't. It's just the way it is. Yeah, they have to be marked as, I forget what it is now. So I thought, okay, I'll try a different CF card. So I went through about half a dozen. None of them worked, or one did work briefly, and then it was corrupted and never worked again. So after a day or two, I gave up in frustration and fitted this rather compact XT to IDE 8-bit card, and this gives you the option to plug in an IDE solution into an XT machine which won't have IDE. Now the good thing about that is it will work in any PC, so you can pop this in there and the computer will recognize modern IDE devices like CD-ROM, CF cards and so on and so forth. So this is a bit of a lifesaver. So I have a CF card tucked in there which is booting for C. 2-port cable, so it connects to another CF card here on the side of the machine, at the front of the machine, which is D drive. So I have C and D connected to this, so I can power down, pop out D drive, stick it in the PC, and copy files over as and when needed. Very good, very helpful. Saves me a lot of grief. So I'll put that there. Next up, we have, for no obvious reason, USB. Now the USB, this is an early card, which is 5 volt. The smaller one there is 3 volt, or if it's got half, it's 3 volt. The fat one, 5 volt. So this is a 5 volt card, and this is purely so I can boot my monitor through VGA to HDMI. This little card, or this little device, requires 5 volts rather. So I can convert VGA to HDMI with that little box that you can't see, and that will go into my video capture card, and I can capture VGA and edit it and all the rest of it. So what's left? I'm not actually using that at the moment, so I might leave that out. What's left? Let's have a look at this one. ATI graphics. Now this is, let me read, an ATI Rage 1998 ATI Technologies. It's a Rage 2 PCI with a feature port there. I don't know what the feature port does. Perhaps has a TV card to it or something. I don't know. I think it has 4 megabyte of RAM, or is that 2 megabyte? I can't read the writing on there, but we'll see when it boots up. So that at the moment is my configuration of my 160 megahertz ATPC. Oh, it's got a picture of a little TV, look. So we'll pop that back. Now the reason I'm telling you this is that people have asked me what graphics you got in, what sound you got in. So I thought I'd do a little video showing what's in this thing. We'll play some games, we'll do some bench tests, see what it does, see how it functions. We've done it previously on a stream, I think, last week, a quick look. And but we're going to do some benchmarks today, or a little bit later today, and we'll see how this thing functions. Now I'm going to edit this on my Intel Mac, and it will be the last video that I edit on my Intel Mac, because I have just purchased an M1 Mac. So I'm going to put this back together. There might be some banging, scratching, some bloodied knuckles, because everything in these old cases is razor sharp. So I hate PCs, always have done. I think they're a bloody abomination. But anyway, who came up with this stupid idea? Oh, one problem I do have, if anyone can help me, this would be grateful, or I would be grateful. The serial COM port 1, I have a little adapter for connecting the mouse.
Now when I connect my brand new mouse, brand new in box from 1996 or 7, you pop that in there, plug it in, and you have a PS2 to serial connector or adapter. Unfortunately it doesn't work. The mouse doesn't work, it has no sign of life. Obviously it doesn't light up because it's not an LED mouse, it's a ball mouse. A4 Tech, brand new. So either the adapter don't work, or it doesn't take the PS2 protocol, or a combination thereof, I don't know. But that is my ATPC. So what I'm going to do now is put the case on, and we'll power it up. So that is ready to go.